Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of G&A Podcast. I am your co-host, Asipa's father, Drooby-Doo.
And I am one of the Knights of Britain, Soroni.
You're just a knight. You're not even a princess.
Fuck it, I'm a knight. Did you see how OP these knights are? I gotta get out here.
That knight is. Welcome, guys, back to the next episode of the G&A Podcast. As always, we are here bringing you the freshest, dopest outlook on anime today.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a newscaster.
This week in anime.
That felt very ESPN-like. I'm proud of myself.
Good job.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 13.
This episode was awesome.
It was. It literally was just like... it's like what... It's basically like the beginnings of Overlord when everyone just started like showing off their power levels and blowing shit up.
This was a very Overlord episode.
Mm-hmm.
I actually loved the... First off, his whole squad is way more OP than I thought they were going to be. Like, the Kijin are out here just blowing shit up.
Yeah, they're literally like on Overlord levels of like powerful.
I'm like, fuck, these are like, yeah, literally. They're like...
Literally.
His village is just, at this point, it's just Nazarick. And everyone else is just a scrub.
Yeah. What's his face? Gabiru was on the brink of destruction when, he was like, oh, wait, I'm stupid? Oh, wait, I shouldn't rush into battle not knowing what to do?
I will say Gabiru wasn't as much a scrub as I thought he was. Like, he actually...
No.
He was competent. He was pretty good at fighting.
He was very confident. He was just like... But his pride almost got everyone killed, though.
Yeah. I loved Ranga. Ranga was great.
Ranga, or when he Digivolve.
Yeah. I'm glad that they have that mechanic. Like, I'm assuming he just got so much experience or whatever that he just continuously evolved.
Oh yeah, that is true. He killed a lot of people.
when you're
farming a fucking thunderstorm and a hurricane.
When your farming is on point, you just out here.
I know. I mean, they should take some notes from Ranga.
I know. He's just one turning everybody.
He should use him to farm the pillars. But yeah. That was good. Yeah. Note to self: don't piss off Ranga. He was not having it. He was like, bitch, excuse me.
Excuse me while I kill like 1,000,000 orcs real quick.
I love how they focused on like that one orc who got like incinerated by lightning.
Yeah.
Even though I'm seeing how he literally summoned a natural disaster, he probably killed a whole bunch more.
I was kind of disappointed by the Orc Lord. He kind of looks like just a big orc, but with like a red crystal in the middle of his head.
Agreed. You would think he'd be just like a little bit more distinctive from the other orcs. Like I would go as far to say like the Goblin Lord from Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer's Goblin Lord looked a lot better.
Exactly. He looked way better.
Yeah, give him like 4 arms or something. Make him like fucking 10 feet taller than all the other orcs.
Yeah, like just make him fucking huge.
Yeah, make him huge. Give him some extra arms. Do something.
Like a nice sassy cape. Like, come on.
He's a lord.
Exactly. Gotta look the part. But yeah. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I love the lizard people's reactions when they were getting rescued, and they kept having their jaw dropping moments every time.
Yeah.
This guy came up here and killed all these orcs.
Yeah, like I love like that time. I think his name is Shuen. Something like that.
Something with an S that I can't remember.
The last time he killed them all, everyone had their mouths open except for like the girl. It's like I've seen this already.
In a very brutal fashion. This actually was a kind of a brutal episode. Like the last orc that got killed got like just sliced apart with strings. So
yeah, literally squeezed to death until he fell apart like meat.
Fucking Resident Evil style.
I'd be down for some orc meat.
That sounds good, actually.
I was like, there's no way he's gonna be like, that sounds bad. No, that actually sounds delicious. They're basically like
the orcs are also down for some orc meat.
Exactly, they keep eating their own, so it can't be that bad, right?
But yeah, other than that, it was a good episode. I like the focus on battle. I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully the actual fight between Rimuru and the Orc Lord next week. Also, just want to point out, there couldn't be more of a stark contrast between pacing between this and Tuaru. I just want to point that out for when we get to what we have to get to of Tuaru, because this episode for Slime, if anything, Slime's pacing is too slow, but I felt like, all right, this was on point. This was a good paced episode. So,
because there's nothing but action, more or less. So
yeah, nothing but that. But I understood what was going on. It wasn't like, we'll get to there when we get to there.
We'll get there when we get there, folks.
Next up, let us move on to
my episode of the week.
I was
going
to
Kamui 2.
Yeah,
sorry, I could not help myself. I'm like, let's just start talking about it. Mostly because I don't remember as much about it, because I wrote down notes at Oni's place because I was there for Christmas Eve. But I left the notes, even though I said I wouldn't. But I remember like the main fine points. Oh, sorry. I just had to yell because I'm just like, not Bravo. Find not Bravo. And fucking he dies within like 5 minutes.
I had a feeling he was gonna die. I knew
he was gonna die too, but I didn't think it was gonna be Ogata.
Yeah, that was surprising. God. It shouldn't be surprising because this whole time we've been talking about like, oh yeah, Ogata is like evil and shit. Like they're all
he's evil and crazy. Exactly. Do you see what I mean? It's still a surprise because it was so focused on the other guy who was also working with Ogata. Yeah, anyway, so it's technically still true. But you didn't expect them to be working together.
Exactly. And even Kiraranke is also, we knew he was sketch from the start, like literally since he showed up. And he's only been getting more and more sketch. And you find out, oh, and he's also with Ogata. Makes sense. But you still didn't see it coming.
But in a weird way of betrayal, like, like, yes, he was fighting to betrayal, but it wasn't the, like, straight up, like, we're gonna murder everyone, take the gold, and da-da-da-da-da. I actually forgot the reason why they killed Nafarabo, which is, that infuriates me. I forget, like,
it was because he, they knew they need Ashipa for the gold, but they saw him saying something to Ogata. Not to Ogata,
Sugimoto.
Yeah, Sugimoto.
And they thought he was telling him the location. He was telling him the
location of the gold, yeah. So, like, shoot both of them and kill them.
Gotcha.
What I loved about this episode was it felt like, I honestly, one of the fears I had for this show, this last episode, was, alright, so once we've been building up to Noparabo for literally 23 episodes, for the whole 2 seasons. So once we see him and confirm that it's Astipa's father, where do we go from here? Like, what's next? But I feel like it did a fantastic job of just, like, seamlessly transitioning into a brand new arc.
Yeah, like, if they got a season 3, I know exactly where they pick up.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like this was forced or like, oh, this random plot twist. It was a perfect plot twist that felt natural. You see it foreshadowed and being built up for literally this whole season. And now that it happened, it opens the way for, like, an even bigger, better story to happen. So.
I fucking feel so bad for Asipa.
Yeah.
You just cannot get a break. Like, literally, her dad and her big brother... what's the word I'm looking for?
Uncle?
No, like, her big brother figure. There you go. Like, her big brother figure. Like, both presumably, like, dead.
Yeah.
Even though they're not.
Well,
what Sugimoto is.
Yes. I love the moral ambiguity of the characters, because there's, like, first off, Kiraranke stabbing...
Exactly. I was about to
Inkamat.
about that. Yeah.
He was not really like
he wasn't trying to kill her.
Yeah, he was just trying to like shoot her off.
He was like, "Hey, give me my knife," and they struggled, and then because I think she tried to kill him.
Yeah, she was like trying to like because she saw him kill, give the order to kill Labrabo or Wilk, so she wanted revenge.
Yep, and then he's like, "Oops, ototo," and just stabs her. He's like, "Damn you! Why'd you make me stab you, stupid?" Like he really, he showed some kind of regret in the midst of all that chaos.
Yeah, they're not like just. I think the most actual evil person might be Ogata, but even then, he's just kind of like a sociopath. So he's
he's not. No, it's definitely Tsurumi.
But I was gonna say Tsurumi at the end. Tsurumi's with Sugimoto now. Like I don't think Tsurumi's evil. He's just really conniving and self-motivated to, pursue his self-interest.
No, he's also like if Ogata is. God, I forgot the difference between the two. If Ogata is a sociopath, then Tsurumi is the psychopath because he just manipulates everyone into doing whatever he wants to the point where they're killing.
Yeah, like I have no doubt that he's just using Sugimoto for this.
Of course he is. But so I feel like they're both different types of evil. Just one is
either way. They're not just. I want to kill just because I want power type of thing. So that's refreshing. I mean, Tsurumi's just super self-interested, like self-motivated into his own, I want the gold, but he goes about it in a very nuanced way.
Yeah. That involves finding all these crazy people, taking advantage of their crazy. And once they do all these crazy things, then they're like, okay, now you can do crazy stuff for me.
It's just a bunch of crazy people being controlled by an even crazier person.
No, I would say literally only like... I feel like most people that come into contact with Tsurumi are the crazy ones.
I mean, literally everyone in his faction except that one dude is just crazy.
Wait, the female doctor, she's also pretty insane because she.
Yeah, they're all crazy.
She literally talked about eating Sugimoto's brain matter.
She probably did.
Like they had the running joke where I think she said something like, "I must rescue a Cipra," and then she's like, "Oh, I had a little taste." Like. Okay, so like half the cast is like crazy.
I'd say like 75% of the cast is crazy. I can name the non-crazier people or non-crazy people easier than I can name the crazy people.
Fair enough.
Either way, great episode.
Oh yeah, fantastic! What a great, crazy way to end it. It just made me feel sad the entire time because I feel like we're not gonna get a season 3.
Oh, we're I don't want to say we're definitely not getting a season 3, but I strongly feel we're not. This had the feeling of, if you want to see what happens next, read the manga.
Read the manga, yeah. And I'm just like, don't make me fucking do that.
I want to read.
I'm already trying to read through Miss Comey.
Oh, that's a fun book, though. There's nothing like Golden Kamui.
Like... I don't want to... I'm reading through, Miss Comey, and what's the other one? Dead Tube?
Oh, how far are you in Dead Tube?
Oh, I still haven't... Oh, I'm definitely going to read that right after. But yeah. This is such a great show. Just from start to finish, it was just so fantastic. So underrated. Yeah. Even though I say it's underrated, it's on the second row.
I think it's gotten more popular. At first it was definitely underrated, but now people have definitely seen it or heard of it at this point.
Yeah, season 2 definitely got popular.
So you ready to rate it?
9.5.
9.5. Oof. What did we give Zombieland Saga? 9s?
I think I gave it 9s.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. I want to give it the extra 0.5, but
I'm giving 0.5 because it's very simple. I sat down, someone said, "What do you want to watch? Zombieland Saga or Golden Kamuy 2?" I said Golden Kamuy 2. That's it's a 9.5. It's just more.
It's hard.
It's just more. It's more. I feel like one thing, it's built off so well off of season 1. It's strong enough to be by itself, but it's even stronger that's built off of like a previous season.
Yeah.
So I can admit I guess maybe I might be a little bit biased, but
I think as a whole, like season 1 and 2 are really, really amazing.
Exactly, and you know what? You can't say that about too many series.
Yeah, no, there's not too many series. Like I can't even.
2 are great.
I can't even think of a low point at this. I'm trying to think of was there any point where it's like this episode was bad or this wasn't fun, but it's always so good.
I think the one time you were like, was like the flashbacks. Even those are good. Like, those are sort of like the Kamui standards of good. Yeah. Like, which is my point. We've always had to like raise the bar for Golden Kamui. Like,
you know what? Fair enough.
Every time.
I'll give it a 9.5. It's surprising because this is genuinely not my type of show.
It's same here.
I don't like
it's like everything I would not watch.
Mm-hmm. Like if I just saw this, I don't know why did we pick this show. Come to think of it, I don't know how we picked it. I'm glad we did.
I'm overdrive. I literally just said let's pick it because it's like that roundabout. No, because like the premise was interesting. Like,
well then we watched the trailer or something, and we were
so we saw the trailer. Yes, we saw the trailer, and we were like, no, we have to watch this.
Yeah. It was. I give it 9.5. I think it was tremendously well done. Even the stuff like the comedy. The comedy moments were so great.
It feels all of it's just like so wholesome. It's like biting into like a deep, juicy burger, and you just literally taste everything as you're chewing on it.
Yeah, and even the comedy of this episode, like that one scene where they're talking about eating brains, and then the doctor's just like, and you just see the other guy's face, like, what the fuck is going on?
That was so funny.
So 9.5. This was tremendously great. It was. If you haven't seen Golden Kamui, watch it.
Fucking watch it. I'm tired of fucking telling you. All right, don't make me come back here about you didn't watch Golden Kamui too.
About to be hell to pay.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. We have Goblin Slayer, episode 12, aka the final episode.
Yes. So the fight against the Goblin Slayer, the fight against the Goblin King, I was incredibly satisfied with.
Yeah, I think that's like the theme of this episode was just satisfying. It just satisfied me in all ways.
Yeah. Like the first part was satisfying, and the second part was like satisfying because it's like, okay, now that we have all like the violence and gore and dying out of the way, let's just make it more like fun. We're all celebrating. Yeah. You know, Priestess gets some shoulder time with Goblin Slayer. He takes off his mask. Like,
I think that was the perfect way to end it. By the way, taking off your like having him take off his mask and watching all the adventurers like stampede over each other to go look at his face. It was just perfect way to end the season.
It really was. And once again, it just shows growth. Once again, 'cause I feel like when he says like, "Oh, you know, I think I really want to be an adventurer," I think like then clicks like he realized what he was missing this entire time.
Yeah, and he can really tell that he's like enjoying having this family atmosphere with all his compadres, his comrades.
Okay.
I think that John Wayne voice is still kicking in.
Yeah, right.
Last night. But his comrades being there, yeah, and you can tell, like, even though he's, like, a man of very few words, and you never really see his facial expressions or anything, you can clearly tell he's grown as a character just based on his decisions and, you know, the little bit of voice that you do get from him.
Yeah. I also appreciated when the fight with, like, the Lancer, watching him do his thing. He literally looks like Lancelot from Grand Blue Fantasy.
He does.
He really does. I just want to mention that because, like, I have him in that game, and he's, like, super awesome, powerful, and cool.
Brag.
But yeah, and so are the Paladins. The Paladins are really cool as well. I thought it was so boss the way that it was essentially the Priestess That's the one who ends up killing the Goblin King.
Oh yeah, that was a great scene. I
Goblin Slayer got like the final blow, but like she kind of fatally wounded him. Like he wasn't coming back from that.
I like two things about that scene. One, I like that she disobeyed Goblin Slayer's orders because she was like, I'm just gonna use 2 prisons and use the healing for trap
and literally squeeze him like a pancake
instead of 3. And then I also loved that she actually stared down her fear, like she stared at the Goblin King or the Goblin Lord and had that flashback of all the pain and suffering and remember what Goblin Slayer told her about no good goblins, and she didn't give in or start pissing herself like she does every other episode.
Yeah, like when he started begging for his life.
So
she was like,
she's grown as a character.
She was like, what'd you say? Keep squeezing harder?
So she's grown as a character. Goblin Slayer's grown as a character. I don't know if the other rest of the party has grown much, but they're still lovable.
Yeah, exactly. We still love them, so who cares?
Elf was great in her
as always
little moment of drunkenness. And yeah, we got Guild Girl there too. Everything was good. This was a very fine way to end a season.
Yeah, and if you feel anything has not been resolved, that's okay because they have a season 2 coming out.
Hopefully.
So yes, more. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel if next season. I hope they kill more things besides goblins next season.
It's called Goblin Slayer.
No. I get that season 1, that's all I'm expecting. But season 2, he's grown. So I feel like, no, I'm okay with it being like a majority goblins. That's fine. You can still kill goblins for like 8 out of the, or even like 10 out of 12 episodes. But like maybe like 2 episodes, hunt something else.
Just a OVA where he's hunting deer. That's what we need. No, actually, I would love to see him go on an adventure with Elf. Like, you know how she's always like, I want to take you on an adventure where we just do a hippie mountain hike thing. I'd like to actually see that. I feel like that'd be fun. Just to see him out of his element and be like, where are the goblins? Where are the goblins at?
Yeah. But also killing stuff and just because it's Goblin Slayer. We should if it's not gonna be goblins, he should be slaying something.
Exactly. I also love this episode showed that he's not that great of a fighter, like compared to the other fighters that are silver ranked, like Ku and I'm just gonna call him Ku. And the paladins. Like they fuck up. You saw how easily they fuck up the Goblin Champions where he was having such a huge problem with that. So you can clearly see he's good at one thing, and it's ambushing goblins in a dark tunnel.
Yes, he is pretty.
Not even fighting them in an open field, just like ambushing them in a dark tunnel.
Basically. All right.
Wait, rating.
Wait. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
I thought you were gonna say next thing.
No. You go first.
I think it was overall just a very satisfying show. If you want action, if you especially if you love like role playing and fantasy, I think you'll get a lot out of this. I don't think it does anything different. It definitely doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. It's a little bit darker than most series, I guess. But it doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. It's not groundbreaking, but it's very well executed. It has very good characters. So if you like fantasy, you like action, go for it. I'm going to give it a solid 8. I think it's a very solid.
Same.
Yeah.
That was not going to be a score. I thought I'm literally was like, oh, this bitch is going to give him a 7.5.
I was going to give it a 7.5, but the ending was just so good. I was just like, I was like, that's just, it's you know what this is? It's a great thing to watch, like, marathon it. Just 12 episodes, sit down, chill, watch it out.
Just chill, just dedicate
a day
2 to 3 hours of your life. Wow, is it really? Wait.
Might be a little bit longer than that.
Nope, I think my math is wrong.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that.
It's like 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours, yep.
So, that was Goblin Slayer. Let us move on to something that was not as clean and satisfying as Goblin Slayer, with Aru Majitsu no Index, episode 13, season 3.
Alright. So, gonna do my best to give you y'all the rundown. Basically, the knights are fighting each other. Mr. William. Well, I don't know the other guy name of the other guy. I just call him the head knight.
Yeah.
Head knight reveals his ability to nullify all attacks because of some bullshit that some guy in the past did. And he's like, oh, I studied his magic and I can do the same thing. I can just nullify anything I perceive as a weapon. So that was
bullshit magic. I just have it.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. And then Aqua's just like, okay, I'm just gonna literally have hidden items upon hidden items upon hidden items until you can't register it as an attack and kill you that way. Well, I'm not sure if he died. I don't
think he died. I think he just
I don't think he died. He was just wounded. Yeah. Yeah, that cut along his abdomen seemed pretty bad.
This episode, I hate watching this show only because it makes me feel really stupid. Because I'm like, I think for this one episode, I swear to God, I got up to get something from the refrigerator for about, probably took like 25 seconds. And I came back, and there was a completely different scene with the same characters. Like, I went away, and they were walking into a subway. I come back, they're all having dinner at, like, a fucking campfire. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was gone for, like, 10 seconds.
Okay, but to be fair, maybe... I mean, yes. Yeah, you know, I can't defend this. Hey, do you know what the original Katana does? Because I don't.
I do not know jack squat about anything.
Just like, okay, as long as you're standing on British soil, you can literally control it to a point where you can move chunks of it from one space to another space.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was its power.
It's more. No, it's more.
There's more to
way
it,
more detailed than that.
Yeah,
like it's not talking about like 3D intersectionalism and shit, and I'm just like, nope. I immediately find out. I was like, no. This part I do not like as much.
I do find myself like tuning out here and there, where it's like, now I'm gonna give my explanation about magic. I'm like, okay, let me just not register any of this.
I just dumbed it down for myself. That I'm just like, okay, you basically can manipulate all of like the space that is England with that sword. Mm-hmm. Got it. Even to the point where Imagine Breaker was like not able to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like they jumped through. Like, if the light novel covered this arc, I think they must have jumped through, like, 6 or 7 chapters. Because they were all over the place.
Yep.
They were just like, Toma was in one area, 10 seconds later he's in another completely different area with different characters around him. Then Index was there, and he was there with a carriage, and they had just met the princess, but she wasn't there this time. I'm like, why are all these characters just jumping around?
Then they go into the subway because there's a special train car that holds some type of magical device that short circuits the katana, and that is what I dumbed it down to in my mind. Like, that's what I need to understand. Got it. And they needed to open the partition, the magic partition, to let the people go in and steal the car using the third princess, who the one good thing about this episode, she actually was like, I'm gonna nut up and be a bad bitch, try to fight this golem. She was like bleeding and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was this whole season. What I'm doing to this show now is I'm just reducing it to cool scenes. Like, I don't know what's going on. I just want to see some cool scenes. Like, if this was any other anime, this would be Gin no Guardian tier. This would be like, this show's fucking stupid. Because it reminds me of Gin no Guardian. I have no idea what's going on. And it's just random stuff is just happening randomly for some loose plot reasons. And it's jumping all over the place. And new characters just pop up here and here. But because it's Index, I'm just like waiting for fun moments to happen. Like the golem scene. I'm like, oh, that scene was kind of cool. Or the scene where they're all eating and there was like a stupid debate about which maid outfit to wear. Like, that's cute. That's about it. That's all I have watched. That's all I'm here for right now.
I don't know. I feel like up to this episode, I was like okay with it. Like,
the arc started out good. It started out like the first episode or two was fine.
I'm generally talking about like this entire season. Like well, no, the beginning was a little rough when they were in France. I thought that, dude, that was like, eh. But then after that, everything else up to that was pretty cool. The school book calendar, whatever
pen,
that whole shit was
pineapple
cool.
pen.
Right? Aqua starting shit, that was cool. I accepted all of it willingly, and then we got to this episode, and I'm just like, huh.
Don't you feel like this could have been the entire, like, this is a 24 episode season, right? Let me look it up.
This could have,
it's 26 episodes. Don't you feel like
this could have been like half of the season?
No, I mean, like, this could have been, like, yeah, this arc alone could have been half the season.
Arc,
they're doing it. But I'm thinking, like, everything up until now, like, all the stuff from the beginning when they were in France till now, this could have been the 26 episodes, and it would have been fine. Like, make the France arc, like, instead of being at 3 episodes or however long it was, make it, like, 5 episodes. Make the next arc, like, if all the arcs were an extra 2 episodes, it would be fine. Like, everything would make much more sense. You'd have enough content. It's not like I'd be starving for content. Like, oh, I'm tired of this arc. All we get to see is Accelerator fighting people all the time. Oh, I wish they would skip this and condense it all into 2 episodes. Like, no, you have enough content to stretch each of these arcs out like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, like I would love to see the Aztec magic fighting, even though Aztec magic just came out of fucking nowhere. But all right.
Yeah, just slow it down a bit, Index. I feel like they're working towards something, and it's like, fuck all this stuff. We want to get to
we have to end up here. We have to rush to get to here, or else it all means nothing.
So, yeah, it's in a rush to go somewhere where I don't care what happens, it's not going to be worth fucking scrapping all these arcs just to get to this one point. So, I don't know. I wish they kind of just slowed it down a bit, stretched it out a little bit more. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
You know, I feel like they're definitely going to have, like... How much do you want to bet they're going to have at least 2 arcs? 2 more arcs before the end of it.
Oh, I'm thinking they'll have, like, 3 or 4 more arcs at this rate. Because we're, what, episode 12? 13? We still have 13 episodes left of the season.
And we did have... This is the 3rd arc, right?
This is, like, the 4th arc. We've had the France arc. We had the school thing. Mm-hmm. We had... Aqua.
Oh, yeah,
and now we have
the 4th one. You're right. So at this rate, yeah, they can easily squeeze in another 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
That is a terrifying thought, guys. Chill the fuck out.
Oh, boy. Well, all we can do is hold our breath and wait till next episode.
Yeah, hopefully something cool happens.
Until then, let us review the final episode of Dakaretai Otoko 1 I ni odasarete imasu.
Yes, that.
Episode 13. It's a Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really cute. Like, lots of... It's what I expected. Like side... Well, it's...
Doesn't it feel awkward for our last episode, though? Like, I can't be... This felt like an OVA or, like, a DVD extra episode.
It kind of did, but I still like it, though.
It was a cute episode. It was a cute episode. I just think it was weird that this is the last episode.
I'm not. I know. I think ending on a Christmas episode around Christmas is like generally ideal.
Like, I feel but last week was such a good ending point. Like last week's episode would have been perfect to end the season on.
When they got back together.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. I just hate I personally don't like when the couple gets back together on like the last episode. I like episodes like these where they just like it's a romance anime. Like I want to see an episode of them having romance.
I don't have anything problem with the episode itself. I just thought the episode was cute. Although I do have to question, for real though, would that have been romantic in real life? Like, if you were dating someone and you were looking for them, and they were, guys, I was actually behind you I was in the cab driving you the whole day. And, like, if that was me,
wait. No, wait. I take that back. Only he saved it. He saved it with the tree. The point is, he had a surprise for him besides him being the driver. And that's what saved it. That's what saved it for me. Because someone did that to me, I'd be so fucking pissed.
Yeah, because it feels like a movie thing that works, but doesn't work in real life.
But when I saw the tree, if someone lit all that tree up for me, I'd be like, I'm still kind of fucking mad at you. But like, and I'm gonna, like, it'd be like, I'm gonna give you shit about this for like literally like a month. But holy shit, this light show is amazing, so I'll let it go for now. But tomorrow, you're in deep shit. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if that just makes me romantic as well. But like, in the moment, when he surprised me with the tree.
Maybe. Don't take romantic advice from me, by the way.
Yeah, wait. Like, there's nothing. If a chick did that, there's nothing she would do that would be like, oh, that's fine. You're momentarily forgiven at the very least. No, I'm asking you, is there nothing?
I mean, if she ended it the way he did and was like, I got this box full of chocolate you can use on me, I'd be like, all right, worth it.
See, there you go. You guys heard it first, ladies. Win your way to Oni's heart. Just drive him all around the city, pretend to be someone else, and then when you reveal that it's you the entire time, just be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna drip chocolate all over myself."
Douse yourself in chocolate. Yes, do it. That's the way to my heart.
And that is the way. You see?
Sex
exactly.
and chocolate, the only things I care about in this world.
Oh, don't you get a little embarrassing stuff like that? Yikes! Yikes! But yeah, he surprised. Like, he went the full yard. He was like, "Okay, I made you work so hard." Like, it'd be one thing. It's like, okay, and this is where we're gonna get to the part where I don't want to have to break it down because it was so romantic. But at the same time, I'd be like, wow, I love that you did all this to me, but I'm taking you to my next therapy situation, or like my next therapy session, because that's fucked up. At the same time. Like, we have to go to therapy together, because that's not cool. Yeah, you can't just literally make me worry myself. Like, I don't know, me personally, I happen to have pretty bad anxiety. Like, I had like an anxiety attack, and then he'd be like, "Oh no, I'm just kidding, it's me. Oh my god, please don't freak out." I'm just like,
you'd be hyperventilating in the back seat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's just not what a good person should do. You can't do like really fucked up stuff like that and then give someone gifts
as compensation.
Yeah, ask them for forgiveness. Like, that's like like he's a hop, skip, and a jump away from being a domestic abuser.
I feel like he's always been there.
Oh, but yeah, no,
he's definitely an emotional abusive person.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything to... Oh, I like Saijo's monologues. I really like his monologues. Like, where he's like fussing with himself. I find those always funny. I don't know why they introduced random teenagers.
Yeah.
Although that scene was funny as well.
I like that they incorporated so many characters into it. So it does kind of have that final episode feel, because he went around to all these different characters. Even the old guy that he hates.
Oh my god, that was so fun. First of all, shout out to any anime that literally openly talks about the fact that, like, older actors just don't care about having a sex life. They're like, oh yeah, we're old and successful, or not old, but we're older and successful, so we're just gonna go around dating and fucking whoever we want, because we can. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, anime. You just casually drop that in there?
Yeah.
Like, that's such a progressive message. I think it's progressive because it's like, because they're older. Like when do you
make
hear
it more progressive? As opposed to them being younger?
Yeah, because in what anime do you know where they talk about older people and their sex lives? Never. That doesn't happen.
Are we allowed to count hentai?
No.
Oh.
I knew you were gonna go there. Fuck you.
Well, then no, because that's not a common topic in anime. That's a loaded question.
Okay, really. The answer is for 99% of the time, no. So I think that's very refreshing to add at the end of the episode. I think that's just very cool because I feel like in Japan people say like, "Oh, we date around a lot." Like everyone knows that you mean you fucking left, right, and center. Because it's Japan, that's they're very purist about that kind of shit. So
yeah. Either way, I think this was overall. Are we ready to give our overall impressions?
Yes.
Overall, I would say pretty solid show. It had its ups and its downs.
Oh boy!
It had some deep downs and some okay ups.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to go in.
Overall, I think it was better than most of the stuff we watch. Like most of the romance anime stuff, because in general, I'm not a romance fan. So
it had like a lot of actual romance.
I factor that into my bias grading system. But I'm gonna give it a 7. And I know Drew's gonna flow because that sounds low.
I'm torn. I'm torn on what I want to give this.
What are you thinking about?
If I was doing this with the subjectiveness that I have, even though I'm giving a score, so that's very subjective, but like even more subjective. Like I took my personal feelings, like consciously myself, my own personal feelings into it. I think I'd give it a 6.5.
Oof.
If I was doing that. That is. But taking that out, that bias out that I know that I have, I would give it a 7. The reason why I'm tempted to give it a 6.5 because of my bias is because I dislike the concept of Chunta so much.
As a character?
As a character. Just me personally. Like, you are just like an emotionally abusive rapist. Like,
That's talking about me going in. Jesus.
Like, if you just want to boil it down, like, that is what you are. And a sociopath. And manipulative. I'm not going to say manipulative already. Like, you're actually kind of a terrible person. And I feel like Saito gets such a lack of loving during his childhood that he misconstrues this as love.
I don't think it's the world's most stable relationship. Let's just put it that way.
It is. If you knew a good friend of you was dating someone like Chunta, would you fucking sit quiet and just be like...
I'd be like, we need an intervention.
If I was dating Chunta, would you stay quiet?
No, I'd be like, we need an intervention. What's wrong with you?
Exactly, and that is my problem. Who hurt you? This is crazy and unrealistic as hell. From a psychological standpoint, it's so fascinating, but...
Isn't it like this whole thing with like people being attracted to power, or this image of like just a forceful and aggressive person, but then when you think about it in reality, it does come off as manipulative and abusive.
Exactly. Like, holy fuck! Like, I've never seen like the aggressive male protagonist. I've never seen him so like forward to like you said, it's primitive. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like the worst I've seen ever out of any. Like, does needless count?
Needless, as in
Sorry, not Needless, Loveless.
Oh, it's like, woof.
Sorry. I, oddly enough, I get them confused all the time, just because of, like, the less in the title.
Yes. Which, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen Needless, go watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Although its animation is not as good as I thought it was.
Also no season 2 for that ever.
Yeah, rip Needless. But yeah, like I just have such a huge problem with his character. Like it's really bad. And then you try to put it in like they really try to make it seem romantic. I'm like, I hope you know, in real life, this is what people do to each other, and it's not okay.
Well, we still have 2019 to go through. Maybe we'll run into somebody worse than Shuta.
No, can we not? No. Can we not? See, my problem with it, before we move on, my problem with it is like, at least we knew, at least, what's that romance anime you hate so much?
Kuzu no Honkai?
Yes, Kuzu no Honkai. At least Kuzu no Honkai knew, like, these are people being really bad, doing bad shit. Like, they knew they knew what they were, and we were convinced, because you were like, these people are awful, and yada yada. And that was, like, kind of the whole point. They're messy, they're gross to each other, to themselves. We know but they know what kind of show they are. Like, but, Fortune calls it. But for this, they're like trying to put something so horrible. Like he would have been a great fit on Kuzu no Honkai. Could you imagine?
He's not trashy enough to be in Kuzu no Honkai.
Oh, Tunta isn't trashy enough.
I was gonna say he's too likable for Kuzu no Honkai.
He's literally basically the slut, except she wants to fuck more people, and he just wants to fuck one person.
He's not like a backstabbing. He's not a backstabbing slut. Like all. At least he's a faithful slut. He's a slut for one person. That's it.
No, do not compare him to Sakura. Thank you very much.
Was that her name?
No, I'm talking about Sakura from Fate Stay Night.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not the huge fan.
Let's move on before you get triggered, and I get triggered because we bring Kuzu no Honkai into this, and it's just a big trigger fest.
Trigger fest.
Let's move on to Senran Kagura, episode 12, the last episode of the season. I have mixed feelings about this series. This episode itself
is exactly what the problem is with the whole series. But continue.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to say this episode was bad. I just think it was not what I expected.
It wasn't good, bitch.
Whoa. It was okay. It was okay.
No, see, I'm going to say it's not okay for one reason.
What? No
so
fan service?
Huh?
Lack of fan service?
Exactly. That's literally... I'm like, nope. That's literally makes this whole finale bad, in my opinion.
So that's my problem with it. Obviously,
that's a huge problem. That's the problem with it. When an ecchi anime, the last episode has basically
no ecchi. I think there was like 2 panning shots, and that was it.
Exactly.
It's like, here's the thing: Senran Kagura can be a very good ecchi and a mediocre action show. And it chose, for the majority of the season, to just be a mediocre action show. Some of the plot points were cool and interesting, like the whole Yoma, girl, Fubuki. I like Fubuki. Fubuki has an interesting story, whatever. Her mother being a yokai, or Yoma, and all that. Cool, interesting. I think that would have been fine if it was, like, relegated to... Like, if the whole Fubuki thing was just the last 4 episodes of the season... And then the first, 9 episodes were just them having fun and being stupid or whatever.
Or maybe, halfway through one of those episodes, in the early episodes, you just show her, I'm Fubuki and I'm evil.
Yeah.
Rah, rah, rah. And then more of her, during the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. It went away from its strength, and it just became, like a Naruto Dragon Ball Z thing. Show. The whole thing where they all went Super Saiyan.
First of all, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm saying this, but don't do that to Dragon Ball and Naruto.
The reason I'm saying Dragon Ball Z is because they all went Super Saiyan and like fucking. I think Miyabi at one point she had like wings and.
She basically became what is it? What is the fusion evolution of Lady Devimon and
Mastermon?
Yes, Mastermon. She really became Mastermon.
Yeah, she became Mastermon. She was like, they all did the ceiling technique. I'm like, all right, you guys all need to chill out.
Hame. Also, remember how
her
that was like a forbidden technique and literally everyone got on the first try?
Remember how it was supposed to kill you? Now they're all just doing it left, right, and center, and they're like, whatever, doesn't hurt anymore. But see, I can forgive that. I can forgive that stupid stuff if it wasn't the focus of the show. But it is. So it's like now I'm forced to call you out on your stupidity. Because you just chose to make yourself into an action show as opposed to being a stupid harem comedy. Or not even harem, stupid ecchi comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Is it bad? Like, you know it's bad when the gay kid is waiting for that fun ecchi parts.
If they had done what, oddly enough, they had done what Dakaretai did, and the last episode was just like, haha, Christmas episode, and we're gonna, I don't know, spend Christmas at a hot spring or something, would have been a perfect way to end the season.
Yeah, and also, if you're gonna make a mediocre action thing, at least have a cool fighting finishing move. Yumi literally just was like, fans! And then Fubuki's like, oh no, I lost in one hit, fuck.
Also, there's no logic to why Yumi's still alive and not damaged or anything. There's no metric to tell how hurt someone is in the show. Like, people go down in one hit sometimes. Sometimes they, like, get hit 1 billion times and they're just unscathed. Fully recovered.
Like, literally, it would take, like, a spear to the chest.
Sometimes people get hit, like, stabbed and kicked and punched, and they're fine, and then someone just, like, tears off their top, and they're like, oh, and they fall down. So, yeah, the action scenes were, like I said, it was a mediocre action show, but it could have been a very good ecchi.
I guess let's rate it. I give it a 6.
I was gonna give it a 6.5.
That's appropriate.
It's appropriate. I give it the 0.5 for the little bit of ecchi episode, like the 3 or 4 actual ecchi episodes that I did have that were on point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta pick up your game if you ever get a 3rd season, Senran Kagura.
They're not getting a 3rd season after that.
It's a pretty big franchise. I mean, they'll probably get like 20 more games.
Yeah, before you get another anime.
Alright. So, I think that actually wraps up our fall season pretty neatly. For those of you who didn't see the Winter 2019 guide, make sure you watch that. We are going to...
Lots of reading. Lots
of reading. We outline our picks for the winter... or for the next season of G&A podcasts. Should I just list them now, or should I make people watch the fall preview, the winter preview?
You guys can just skip to the end where you list it.
Well, I'm just gonna list it now then.
I knew he was gonna do it anyway.
I'm hyped. I want the people to know.
Why the fuck did you even ask?
I want them to know.
Just go do whatever you want to do. You always do it anyway.
Well, next season we're going to be continuing with Aru Majitsu Index and Slime, so those 2 shows are going to stay the same. We're also going to be adding at Kakegurui XX, which is the 2nd season of Kakegurui, Watashi ni Tenshi ga Mayorita, which is a comedy. What else do we have? We're also going to be watching Tate no Yusha and Boogie Pop wa Warawanai. And we're also going to be watching Domestic Kanojo, which is going to trigger me to no end, I'm sure. Yes. So for those of you who are here for the Kuzuno Honkai season, get prepared for the sequel to that.
We're back, bitches!
But, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this episode of G&A Podcast, make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing so when we're here next week with our brand new season. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and if you want to go the extra mile, well, first you can also join the party over our Discord. And then if you want to go the extra mile, you can donate to us on Patreon, like all these lovely patrons on screen right now who make this show possible. And Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I'm not sure when this video is gonna be posted, but whenever it does, have a happy new year, a safe and happy new year.
Yep, have a happy new year, guys, depending on when this video is up. And yeah, as we move onward to the next new year, this has been Soroni and
Droopy-doo.
We'll catch you guys next year, assuming this goes up before New Year's. Later.
Bye.